Today I want to share a story with you because after many years of personal training, developing a mind-body technique that bridged law of attraction, law of assumption, and working out, psychophysical brain retraining, I lost 10 pounds in a week. No exercise, no diet, no change of anything except an internal switch. I want to tell you about that. Welcome back to Raw Radically Aligned Women. I'm SJR. I've been coaching women just like you to actualize your full potential and attain personal and financial freedom. Because when you stand in your greatness, everything comes to you and you light up the world. That's my passion. So I had worked out, I had done Mediba's on my lap. Here she is, the little fluffy. She wants to go down. So after many years of working holistically, 360 degrees of wellness, and that includes spiritual and financial because it all is so intertwined, I had put on some weight. I had spent many years using law of assumption to change my body. I created whatever body I wanted, lithe, ripped, cut, whatever it was. And then I got into this place about how much have I been indoctrinated by the patriarchy to think that, cut and chiseled a little boy's strong, muscular body is my ideal. I wanted to find out, what does it mean, the divine feminine? If I'm embodying it, what does it look like in my body? And as I explored that, I put on weight. I put on a good 10 pounds. And I let it be. I wanted to explore and find out what body felt best to me, what felt right to me, like how much marketing and how much did I buy into all that indoctrination, what felt best to me, what felt healthiest, most aligned in my divine feminine. So I just let myself be. And I was going through a period of not working out because I'd been through a time of transitioning my business online. And it wasn't an easy time. And I was at the computer all the time, trying to learn marketing and all these things that I'd never done. I'd had a business in Manhattan for 25 years, and it was word of mouth. Suddenly, I needed to learn all these things, and I dived in. If you're like me, you know what I'm talking about. So much to learn. And I wasn't working out, and I gained 10 pounds. And at first I was like, oh. And then I thought, I actually want to find out for myself if that ideal, muscular, cut body is really what feels best to me as a woman, or if getting softer and more feminine, is that in my body or is that in my being, and how does that reflect in my body? And from being a teenager, all those years of body insecurity and body shame and all of that stuff came up. I went back to the basics of law of attraction. Feel good now, accept what is, be with it, accept it, which was such a relief to me because I'd been so hard on myself. I had to watch myself, I had to look a certain way, I had to be a certain fitness and strength and, all these parameters. And I just let go of it all and said, let's see what my body does. And my body put on those 10 pounds. And part of it was, I was like, oh, it's soft. And I have a tummy, and, I surrendered to it. I let it be. And after a period, and I remember my assistant came to stay with me from Florida, and she was like, "Oh, you put on weight." She was like, "You're bigger." And breathe and embrace it, and no judgment. And that's step one. Can I embrace where I am? Not make it a moral issue, not make myself wrong for it, not make it mean anything about me. Those 3 questions. Can you answer those 3 questions? Because if you can say yes to those, that's the foundation that we build a rock solid manifestation on. Okay? We're not doing it to prove something, because God, the universe, wants us to know just how priceless we are, simply because we are. So I let it be, and I explored it, and I was with it, and I let go of judgment. And when I'd start to feel icky, I would, choose an opposite thought. I would become curious about my body and what it was doing and what was most congruent for me, for my body, trying to clear away more of the conditioning and programming of the patriarchy. And, I definitely felt more sluggish. I definitely didn't feel as strong or as light on my feet, as agile, as capable. And it was a good 6 months. I just let it be. And then one day I went, I really like being lighter. I like being lithe. I like being agile. I like to be light on my feet. I like to move fast. I now have explored that, and for me, being 10 pounds lighter is what feels aligned to me. And in that moment, being full of love for myself, full of grace, I said, okay, I'm ready to let this go. And I took a moment to feel in my body what it would feel like, step 2, to be light and lithe and agile and quick on my feet and nimble. And as soon as I felt that in my body, I let the cells of my body vibrate to that, like they woke up to it. So that's what I want you to do, is visualize what it will feel like, not just emotionally. Yes, emotionally, you're going to pin down, but also physically, psychophysically. How does it feel in your body to look exactly the way you want? You just let yourself fantasize, imagine walking down the beach, looking the way you want, feeling the way you want. What is it? You feel confident, capable. I want you to invite all those feelings in. And once you've done that, step 3, know that it's done. It's done. After that, I didn't really give it that much thought. I embraced it, I felt it, I allowed it to fill all the cells of my being, and then I went about doing what I was doing. I promise you, it wasn't a week later I suddenly was like, I think I've lost weight. I got on the scale and I'd lost the exact 10 pounds that I'd put on. I hadn't done anything different. I embraced where I was. I was sure that that was congruent for me. It wasn't my need for approval or to prove something. And then I allowed my body, my psycho-emotional, physical body, to experience that fully. And step 3, I knew it was done. You know, when you make a decision to, usually every year I go to South Africa on safari. So when I decide, oh, I'm going to go to South Africa and I book my ticket, it's done. I don't think about it. It's just that kind of knowing. And you don't play with it again. You don't use today's experience to measure your future manifestation. You just stay with, I'll be getting on that plane. I will manifest exactly what it is. Knowing what it is. For me, it was 10 pounds. Know what it is. So if you listen to my story, I was very clear about what body I wanted. It was muscular, strong, lithe, flexible, agile, nimble. Find those words, write them down. So I want you to follow that trajectory of my story. And then it stayed off. It never came back. Because I reshifted. I was playing with my self-identity and I reshifted into what that is. So if there's a part of you that feels like, I see myself as a fat person, or I think I was a fat kid, or I saw myself that way, go love her and help her change that in step 2, in that visualization, in that fantasy of embodying exactly what you want to look like. And come back and share with me your results. To recap, embrace where you are, accept where you are. Give yourself room to explore exactly what you want. Know how it feels through visualizing, know how it feels emotionally, psychologically, and physically. And 3, know and accept that it's done. Accept, know, step 3, combine them. Know and accept. It's done. You don't have to check it, you don't have to weigh yourself. Be with you, love you, embrace you. I promise you this works. I love you. If you got value from this, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to know more about this, let me know. Namaste. I'll be back.